This is not my personal story, but one from my sister. There used to be a farmhouse way back in the middle of nowhere in my area. After the family that lived there either moved or died, some squatters settled in. There was a period in the mid to late 90s where there was a satanic cult operating around here. Now, I'm 22, and I don't recall most of this since I was very young at the time, but my brother and sister remember it well. There were several murders at this house around this time. One guy was even pinned to the wall while he bled out, from what I heard. So, my sister was a typical 90s party girl, into Nirvana, Metallica, all that stuff. She was invited to a big party at this place. Everyone knew the stories, and this was just after the Satanist thing and the disappearance of some drifters, so that would put this at around 1998. Anyway, they called this place the Red Army House. I have no idea why. Everyone was having a good time, getting creeped out by a knife stuck in the wall and some blood on some picture frames. Suddenly, they all heard a huge crash from upstairs. One guy went up to investigate, and he was gone for like 15 minutes, when everyone heard him scream. He came running down the stairs, all pale and bloody-nosed, just absolutely terrified. He told everyone to get out now, and ran out of the house and off into the darkness. Everyone took his advice, still having no idea what he had seen. That guy went missing for like 2 weeks, before just showing up back at school like nothing had happened. In the years since then, he's been in and out of the psych ward. Had several suicide attempts, I hear. I have no idea where he lives now. He won't tell anyone what he saw, and when asked about it, he gets really angry. I've never told anyone but my girlfriend about this. I was about 10 years old at home with Mom and Dad. Grandma and Grandpa had come up to visit. It was a lovely evening. They only stayed for a couple of hours before getting ready to leave. My mom has always been really formal with seeing people out, so all 5 of us stood in the doorway saying goodbye to Grandma and Grandpa, when all of a sudden, we heard a huge crash coming from in the dining room. Something huge had fallen down the chimney and knocked the metal on the front of the fireplace 10 feet or so. Dad looks in, then closes the door with all of us outside. We heard thumping noises still shaking the house, like whatever it was trying to climb out of the chimney. Now, we've had birds fly down before, gulls and such, but this noise was much louder than that. Mom was telling Dad off for some reason, like she knew this would happen. Mom has me in my coat now, and we're all leaving the house within a minute of the crash. Dad had secured the room with a metal pole through the door handle, and I drove off with Grandma, Grandpa, and Mom. Dad stayed to do... I don't even know what. Nothing was spoken about this incident for years, until one day I asked my dad, and he said, "Yeah, I know. Crazy night." I don't mention it around Mom at all. In fact, I don't mention it again to even him. It's just a weird family secret now. That dining room has weird properties, too. Like, for whatever reason, money sticks to the walls and ceiling. Notes, coins, anything. But not ordinary metals. When I was 13, I was going to the zoo with my mom, grandma, brother, and cousin. Since the trip was about 90 minutes and my grandma loved antiques, we decided to take a break and stop at a little antique store. The only person there besides us was the owner, an old man with a blue shirt on. I noticed that the interior walls were made of 2x4s, with open slats in between them. I looked through one of these walls and saw a purple Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard robe. I thought that was really weird and stopped to look at it. Suddenly, a hand reached through the slats. It seemed to belong to a wrinkly old man, but it wasn't the owner, as the sleeve indicated a red flannel shirt. It didn't seem to be trying to grab me, just reaching out. I thought it might be someone on the other side trying to get something off the wall, so I walked around to the room's entrance to see who it was. There was no one there. This happened in my old family home. Many things have happened there over the years, and to be honest, I'm kinda relieved at not having lived there for over 10 years now. My parents still live there. This happened when I was about 10. I had a conjoined bedroom with my younger sister, meaning I had my own door, but had to walk through hers to get to mine. Outside our door was a hallway that led to my parents' bedroom, which had a bathroom alongside it. I had woken up in the middle of the night needing to pee. I turned on as few lights as possible so as not to wake anyone up. There was dead silence as I sat on the toilet right next to the door. All of a sudden, I could hear really fast footsteps running along the hallway from the direction of our room, past the door into my parents' bedroom. They sounded like a child's, so I convinced myself that it was my sister wanting to sleep in our parents' bed instead. I worked up the nerve to leave the bathroom and trek through that dark hallway. But when I got back to my sister's room, I saw her there, sleeping in her bed. I really, really disliked that house.